Hey guys, Azir bringing you another video and welcome back to High Rating Spectate. So today we are continuing the trend that we are doing this mini-series within, High Rating Spectate, that we are focusing on champions that Huzzy, me, is personally scared of in League of Legends. These are champions that I rate very highly, and I've always kind of said, I'm scared. If I'm scared of a champion, it means the champion in my mind is a good champion. Also, I had it on the wrong thing. There you go. And today, we are naturally focusing in on Azir in the mid lane. So the first two episodes, if you did miss them, I do recommend going back and watching. We watched, I think episode 1 was Kindred, and then I've gone blank, apparently. Was it Evelyn? Yeah, it was Kindred, then Evelyn. So 2 jungle episodes. This is the first mid lane episode. And some people, by the way, I did say in that episode, hey, feel free to guess if, go for it. And a couple people did guess Azir. The natural reason for it, why do I find Azir scary? So it follows, again, very much the same trend that the other two did. Azir is mainly played by Azir players. It's very rare to see people play Azir who aren't mains, or at least they have them in his, they have Azir in their pool naturally. So it kind of gets rid of the randomness of, who you're against. Naturally, that person knows what they're doing. He's also a champion, and this is where it's my personal champions that I'm scared of. When you get to higher ratings, he is a champion that is gets heavily rewarded when it comes to being good at the champion. Meanwhile, you saw that Wukong just nearly got half health to an Azir level bump with 2 or 3 auto attacks. So there are some champions, and I'm not going to say the others because they also will probably make an appearance in this mini series. That the higher rating you go, the better this pick becomes. It's very oppressive to lane against an Azir in a couple of ways. So his poke, as you can clearly see, is insane. This guy is playing a melee champion as Wukong, but it's even as a mid lane mage, you get poked out by an Azir. And when it comes to as a champion, mechanically, he's relatively hard to play. Which also, when a champion has a lot of mechanics, it's not the fact that they just do a lot of stuff mechanically. They also have insane outplay potential. So, for an Annie, spoilers, Annie is not going to make it into this mini-series of Challenge Spectate because every single game you play against Annie, and yeah, there are good and bad Annies, they are limited to what they can do within their kit. There's only so much an Annie can do. She's a relatively basic champion. Meanwhile, big fight actually happening. Graves going for an engage. Wukong completely caught out. Graves does go down to the Jhin flash, though. Azir gets himself an assist. Questionable by Wukong to do that, if I'm honest. It's blowing both of his summons. He's only level 2. He's already half in farm. Why would you go that all in for the enemy jungler? This is where you should probably be a bit smarter of oh god, I'm already behind in mid lane. I should probably just stick to mid lane for now. But yeah, so Azir has incredible counter potential, outplay potential in general. And worth noting, some people say, oh, he's kind of like a poke harass champion. His weakness must be getting all in. It partially is, but obviously Azir has a tool to get away for one. He has his EQ combo that he can follow his soldier and he can Q away following it with his E. But also his ultimate. His ultimate is a pushback. You jump on me, I can push you away. So a good Azir naturally will poke people heavily, harass them, good damage all the time, and then disengage or push them away really easily. So this is where he's scary. And so much so, there were 3 champions that Riot said a couple of years ago that they basically admitted that we cannot balance these champions. So they kind of nerfed them and they left them in a pretty weak state. Those 3 champions, and I actually am giving a slight spoiler by saying this because one of them is going to make an appearance in the series. But the 3 were Azir, Ryze, and Kalista. Those are the 3, and Riot basically was like, we can't balance these champions to high rating. Mechanically, they get rewarded for better players playing them. So if you make their damage average for average players, challenger players who can play these champions perfectly will legit just take over a game. There was such a time with Azir that Azir was picked or banned every single game. But in the higher ratings, you could not beat an Azir. Just not in a pure, he didn't have a 100% win rate, of course, but in pure mid lane 1v1s, in higher rating, when the Azir was very good, there was never beating him in a 1v1. It just didn't happen. He could be insanely safe from range. His damage was insanely high. And again, if you go all in, he pushed you away. That's it. But nowadays, I think he's in an okay state. I'd say maybe he's slightly weak compared to, what he could be. But that's the danger of the champion. If he's slightly weak, we buff him a little bit, bring him into the meta, then suddenly he's basically broken again in Challenger and Pro Play. So they have to be very careful, and that's the problem with releasing champions that, reward insane mechanics, is the outplay potential is insanely high. So that's why, if you're wondering, of new champions that have come out recently, they don't actually have insane mechanics, a lot of them, because the more mechanical-based champion it is, it's actually harder to balance. Look at two great examples I can give, Nico and Akali rework. Both of those champions got released with a lot of mechanics, just things that champion can do. And if you notice, they have had mechanics just taken away from the champion, because it's harder to balance a champion that has more things going on. They make them more basic, it's easier to balance. So like Set is relatively basic, Yumi's relatively basic, even Yone to an extent, he's pretty basic mechanically. And I think that is on purpose. I think Riot might be like, we can't release a champion that has 15 mechanics. It's impossible to balance. So this matchup itself, again, not too much has happened. Obviously, apart from the Wukong going all in and then eventually dying and Azir getting an assist. Farm levels, you would naturally expect Azir to be out-farmed here. Graves, very, very easily. You might not have seen that. We'll actually go and just show it more in detail. So Wukong's low. He's about to get poked out more. And by the way, the Graves jungle on Azir's team, yes, is running Ignite without Flash. It's becoming more and more common. Ignite with the W, with an auto, does get the kill. For very simple. So people may question, why does Graves take Ignite, not Flash? It's an all-in play style, obviously, that you get rewarded if it goes well. You'll get punished if it goes bad. But, Graves has his E, which is a small dash on low cooldown. That obviously gives him armor stacks. So a lot of the Graveses are just like, I'm just going to rely on my E for mobility. And, I'm tanky anyway with my E, so I don't need Flash. It gives you more dueling potential in the 1v1 having Ignite. But obviously, as I said, it's a high risk. So yeah. One thing, by the way, I do want to make clear, and I think I've said it a couple of times, but people have said, oh, is Echo and Sylas going to make an appearance in this series because Huzzy has said, he thinks they're insanely strong? The answer is no. So this series, again, is focusing in on champions that I'm scared of that are not mainstream. So yes, I'm scared of Kassadin, but everybody is scared of Kassadin. There's no point featuring that. Azir is a low pick rate champion nowadays, so it's not obvious that he would be a scary champion to a lot of people, especially the new players of League. Meanwhile, Shen goes in with a taunt save, ultimate, etc. And that is the second time that Wukong has decided to go all in basically by himself. Bit questionable. By the way, rating-wise, I went with to what is, I think this was valued the best or one of the best. Yes, so this person, Witness Azir, is on EU West. They're currently in Master. So not a Challenger Spectate technically, but the reason I went with this guy has the most games of Azir at a good rating, so it has over 1,000 games this season. Look at that, mechanics, that's point. What other champion can angle themselves as an escape like that? Not many, and that's the mechanics of Azir. Has over 1,000 games with Azir, with a 54% win rate. There's the ultimate, and Wukong's dead. So again, even though the ultimate, reminding people, is a more defensive ability, or supposed to be, you can use it aggressively, push people into a tower. That's my point, is Azir has so many opportunities that, he can be aggressive with his EQ combo and jump on people, then ult. He can be defensive about it. Like, more mechanics, more complicated mechanics, basically opens up the possibilities for Azir. Again, comparing him to Annie again, Annie has Tibbers. You can't really change how Tibbers works. You can't play Tibbers really defensively, right? You're landing Tibbers on an enemy person to do damage. That's it. Azir, you could throw Azir ultimate out without even intending to hit people. It's a wall in the end of the day. You could just use it to block an entrance. It's just more options. But like I was saying, yeah, this person's got 1,066 games of recording with a 54% win rate currently in Master. So arguably with a 54% win rate in Master, it's probably a better than Master player. But is there on op.gg, This is the highest rated person that they're valuing on Azir. Obviously not the most high rating person playing Azir. There are challenger people that do play Azir. But this person, you know, has their name, Witness Azir. So this is someone that has obviously dedicated themselves to an Azir, to being an Azir. And as we've always said, the risk obviously of doing that, imagine, you know, take your imagination to the point that Azir gets reworked or changed or whatever it may be. This person will be heavily punished because they have dedicated to Azir. If I actually look up their account, they have got... So they do play another champion, which is good. But they, yeah, over 1,000 games, nearly 1,100 games of Azir, and then 129 games on Aurelion Sol. So that's his backup champion. But then that's only with a 50% win rate. And then it gets a lot worse. So 78 games of Nocturne, which I presume is Nocturne mid. Unfortunately misses the ultimate somehow there, does the Azir. Is going to dodge. And you notice by that, he's hiding in his own wall. Echo can't get to him when he's hiding in his own wall. Very, very clever. But yeah, 78 games of Nocturne, 42% win rate. 73 games of Rumble, 44% win rate. 60 games of Callista, 35% win rate. 30 games of Zed, 40% win rate. So this person, as you know, he's got a Aurelion that has a neutral win rate when he can't play Azir, but this person is an Azir player. So it's a very scary pick. You can clearly see they're doing well. You know, hiding in their wall there. You legitimately can't get to the Azir. As a melee champion, if he's hiding in his own wall like that, you'll just bounce off his own wall. It's crazy. But yeah, really strong. Worth noting, his item build nowadays, if I'm not mistaken, they do go Ludens as the main damage item first. I remember when he first came out, there was an item build that you used to rush like Nashor's Tooth as your rush item. I do think they still get Nashor's Tooth in some games, but I think Azir has got more options open to him. There are some games that you don't have to rely on Nashor's Tooth auto attack speed. You can skip it. You can go more for the burst build. Meanwhile, as Monkey nearly trying to get the kill, and with the ignite, oh, he ignites the clone. Unfortunate timing by Azir, and the Monkey will escape. But you can go a more all-in build. Meanwhile, Echo throwing his Q a bit too early with the smite, and now Echo, his E runs out. Monkey gets all in, and Echo is not going to die. Very close. Oh, there's the splash, and they will get a double kill. Look at that damage. Again, has no completed item yet. Worth noting the Fairy Charm, by the way, in Azir's inventory. Very good thing to do. If you're somebody that does struggle with mana regen in lane phase, feel free to buy a Fairy Charm. Or if you're in top lane and you're getting poked out, buy Rejuve Bead. They're very cheap, and they sell for a good amount. So I think they cost 150 and they sell for maybe 80, roughly. So you're only losing like 60, 70 gold at the most. And for lane phase, Fairy Charm can help a lot with your mana regen to keep you in lane. Like, put it this way. If you are using abilities to farm, and a Fairy Charm, mana regen allows you to get 4 minions that you normally wouldn't have got. That's all, 4 minions. Meanwhile, Monkey again gets the same combo against him, and he's dead again. Oh, look at, again, the damage is high, and the outplay potential is high. Enemy team very angry, apparently. Oh, the Shen ult! And he survives. Lovely Shen ult. Enemy team, you can tell, very much want to kill this Azir. He hasn't died yet, and he's also got a 500 gold bounty. So that is why they're going so all in for him. And very good, by the way, for Shen. He ults. Riven stopped the ultimate. That's actually, that Shen will be happy about that, because Azir was safe now, and Shen gets to stay in top lane and continue to farm. So that's actually a really good thing for the Shen. And yeah, Riven. Again, rare champion to see. You don't see Rivens, to be honest. And obviously, the Shen right now is winning top lane, behind in farm, but that's because he ulted earlier. Has killed the Riven in a solo, I think, earlier in the game. Engage in bot lane. Graves, to be careful, does get the kill. Echo. Right now, by the way, there is a 3, only now 2 level difference in the junglers. Azir returning to the mid lane. And, yeah, looking to extend that lead. Item build-wise, has completed that Ludens, and now also has a, on his way to Morello, with also a 10-stack Dark Harvest. Wukong went bot lane, does pick himself up a kill. Azir putting his tower down, questionable to me, if I'm honest, because the tower only survives for a few minutes. And right now, there's no pressure mid. You can see the Wukong was bot lane, so why place the tower now? Maybe there is a reason, but maybe I'm missing it. So mid lane pressure resumes. Obviously punishing the Wukong for being bot lane. Azir coming. Oh, with that instant ultimate. Gets the kill. Oh, snap. Jin ultimate trying to kill the Azir. He's probably going to die. Yeah, goes down to the speed. So they got the shutdown. It's good for the Jin. But that damage, instant ultimate by the Azir, that's what the tower. So you push the Echo into the tower with then the damage follow-up. Really nice to see. But, you know, this game, if you just take it of, you know, why is Huzzy scared of Azir? If you haven't, you know, I've said the points earlier. But what chance has this Wukong had against this guy? You know, and I know people say, oh, it's a melee matchup, and obviously Azir's good into melee champions. Yes, you're correct. But even mages struggle like this. Like, yeah, not as much, obviously, but they still do struggle. So yeah, like, this is why. And, you know, as I said earlier, it's also because whenever you see Azir, it ain't a random person first timing Azir, probably. Especially, like, if you're in Diamond 2, Diamond 1, where my main account is at the moment. It's an Azir main, and it's like, ugh, that's scary. It's worth noting, maining things obviously is a good idea. I would never one-trick personally, but maining things is a good idea. And obviously, as a player that doesn't main things, I jump around a lot. I've accepted that I'm never going to be mechanically great, like, or amazing, compared to a lot of these other players that are in the same rank as me, because I swap around too much. I jump on a champion. I play a champion for a game or two, then I'm like, all right, next champion. Meanwhile, Azir goes a little bit too deep. Does get the... Oh, look at that! How did he do that? He survives. And once again... Oh, I can't stress this enough. Once again, the Riven stops the Shen ult, which helps him. At that stage, the Azir was safe. Not going to die anymore. The Shen got stopped by Riven. So now the Shen just gets to stay top lane. Again, I don't blame the Riven. By the way, she's flying. Why are you flying, Riven? That's weird. That must be a replay bug. And look at the damage, by the way. You know, Riven. It's a risky dive. Yeah, she's going to survive. She's going to get away. But yeah, Shen could just wreck a Riven. But to be fair, Shen can wreck a lot of things. And he got buffed recently. No idea. Right, they're going to go and hunt the Echo. 2-level difference still between the junglers. Azir, depending which way and where this guy goes, if he tries to escape that way, where he's running into a Misfortune here. Misfortune's got to be careful. Echo damage. Does get a kill. Look at Echo. Look. This champion's stupid. And he was level 9, I think, at the time. And by the way, all this overstay. Meanwhile, the Wukong gets killed. And 9 deaths by him at the moment. All that overstay or fighting a bit too long, that gave the team to... Oh, nearly gets the kill, doesn't in the end. That gave them time to kind of counter gank onto the Graves. Echo nearly goes down, though, doesn't in the end. Shen getting that Riven kill finally. Got to be careful a little bit, does the Azir. Oh, he's going all in! Gets 1 kill. Jin now nearly gets 1 shot. Doesn't get knocked up. And then the high range Q that you cannot run away from, really. This is Azir, baby. Like, this is why. This champion is nuts. Interesting enough, by the way, hasn't completed the Morello, by the way, with the Oblivion Orb. Is keeping it there. That's because it just gives good stats. Look at the Wukong just got wrecked. It obviously... Oh! And Wukong's dead. Holy moly. Echo looking for an all-in now. Azir just going to stand his ground and auto-attack. Echo does a lot of damage, obviously. But, yeah, he's holding that because Morello doesn't give him that much right now. And this gives good base stats. I do think that they should add a anti-heal effect to Oblivion Orb. And, you know, well, they need to probably buff anti-healing in League of Legends. But for now, it's okay. Yeah, Riven is flying. Azir going to try and escape. He's probably going to go down here. He's going to flash away. Can he get away? He probably might need to focus on damage. Double kill coming by Misfortune. And Riven will leave and doesn't manage to get the Azir. But yeah, leaving that there because it's good base stats. And then probably going to be building his death cap instead. He probably has a lot of gold. Yeah, 1900 nearly. But he doesn't want to base yet because I think it's like 2200 maybe to get death cap from this point. So he's probably wanting just to stay a bit longer until he can actually buy the death cap itself. But yeah, you know, this damage this game that we're seeing is very high. Good mechanics. And yeah. How weird's that? What a weird replay bug. Riven is just floating. She gets taunted, gets absolutely annihilated by the Shen. And she survives for now. Will they have a fight here? You can see, like, worth noting, Why would these guys look to go aggressive? Misfortune is showing top lane. They might not have vision of Azir, but he's on his way. So they might be like, oh, we're outnumbering them right now, but they do decide to back off finally. Azir is looking, maybe not actually. And yeah, enemy team on the back foot. Gold-wise, let's have a look. 5.5, 10.1. Look at that gold difference. We are not that far away from Azir being double gold that 20 minutes. That's crazy. And worth noting, like some people say, oh, how would Wukong recover this game? The honest answer when it comes to playing against an Azir is he probably can't. Because just how Azir works. So like, oh, you finally got on top of him and you get ulted away. So yeah, there's the death cap as we mentioned. With Azir right now is 445 AP. Let's go over his runes while we haven't so far. He is running Halo Blades. So all that attack speed, that obviously, you know, why you don't need to rush Nashers maybe anymore is you can just go Halo Blades instead. Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collection, and Ravenous Hunter. So he just needs to kill Riven to get that fully stacked up. Then he's running Scorch with Sorcery Tree, Scorch, then Transcendence, and then attack speed, adaptive damage, and it's actually running, weirdly, magic resist. Now, if that doesn't say to me that this guy was more scared of Echo than Wukong, I don't know what else does. Because he's against the Wukong, and he's not taking armor. That means he just doesn't care about the Wukong. He's taking magic resist against the Echo. That's crazy, you know. Normally you would need armor or the, you know, the main damage that your lane opponent does. This is it, doesn't care. That's kind of weird and kind of funny. Echo going for it, does get seen in the bush, and now is on the back foot. Rakan going all in, gets the charm. Don't think they're going to get the kill though, unfortunately. Enemy team on the back foot, and they will walk away. Wukong coming in. There you go. Gets one shot. As we said, he was going to get pushed away anyway. Misfortune comes through, but yeah, he was going to get pushed away anyway, but he just got one shot. That's my point. I just don't think he's going to be able to get that recovery this game. Riven doing a smart thing, by the way. Enemy team's got momentum in mid lane. She goes and clears the minions, and she's probably going to try and do it again, maybe. And what that does is stops the push in mid lane. It's actually quite smart. So she's... Did she ulted that? I don't know. She might have ulted. No, I don't. Maybe it's just the skin that looks like a complete sword. Baron, by the way, has been started. How quick will this be done? With that Fed Azir. But they are also at the same time killing the Riven and then also doing Baron. That's when you know you're ahead, that you don't need your whole team on the Baron. Echo is in the area though. Baron has been taken. Echo goes a bit too late and does get himself killed in the end. And that's Baron, a Riven kill, and Echo kill. So like obviously 12-1-3 is currently the Azir. Puts his soldiers in this bush before he bases just to give him vision, just to make sure he's safe while he bases, which is smart. Item build now. What's he going to go for? Let's have a look. Has gone for that stopwatch with also an elixir, looking to end out this game, I presume. Did someone buy merch? Someone just bought a mask. Shadow Blades. I'm not streaming right now. I'm doing a YouTube video purely off stream. But if you are watching the video, Shadow Blades, thank you very much for buying a mask and donating to charity with that purchase. That's lovely. Weirdly enough to me, I'd say, you know, the Azir hasn't upgraded to Medjay, by the way. Some people are like, why didn't he? Some people just don't like Medjay. Dark Seal, you have to remember, is just good for lane phase. It increases your mana. And if you do have a good lane phase, yes, you are getting ability power with it. But Medjay is a risky item to buy. There are some people that just will not buy Medjay. Meanwhile, as Echo looking for a engage, does get it. And with that stopwatch, Echo just manages to be, Azir manages to be safe for now. Still at full health. And they will continue the siege. So unfortunately, look at that damage on Jhin in the bottom left. Now they'll break him the base. Misfortune actually chases the Echo and does kill him. And now the base is completely broken open. And yeah, crazy game. And worth noting, yes, the Azir has been the star of this show. He hasn't been like the only one doing well. The Shen won top lane quite convincingly. Graves has done pretty good. Look at the farm difference in the jungle. And even bot lane obviously done well. Weirdly enough to see a Mirror Mana build of Misfortune. Personally, I haven't seen Misfortune run tiers, but this is the first one that I've seen. I do think the tier building has got a little bit out of hand in the game of League at the moment, if I'm honest. Going all in is the Azir. Wukong going all in does finally get that shut down. That will probably make the Wukong feel great. And that's just Azir going a bit too all in. He could have survived if he wanted to there, but he decided to go for the kill. Probably, you know, he's pretty fed, so he's like, why not? Well, the Jhin flashed out of the way and does manage to survive. That was obviously Jhin flashing and healing, by the way, both summoners. And that was also Wukong using his flash to follow the Azir. So a mistake, potentially, you could say. But, you know, not too bad. It's not going to get, you know, that type of mistake. What can the enemy team gain from Azir's death apart from gold? Well, there's no dragon to take. There's no baron to take in, you know, retaliation. There's nothing. They're just stuck in their base with 2 inhibitors down. So at the end of the day, it's not the worst death from Azir. Alright, so top lane push potentially going to be happening now because that's the only inhibitor left open for blue team. Azir completing more items towards his Zhonya's. And yeah, you'll notice again, still not completing that Morello. It's not very good gold efficiency to complete it unless literally there is someone that is out of hand healing on the enemy team, which there isn't. There is no reason to finish the item yet. He'll probably finish it later in the game. But yeah, doesn't need it right now. Azir going all in. Riven in trouble. She does a bit of damage but does survive. Azir just finishing, or you know, just surviving himself. Double kill for Shen. Misfortune picks up the Echo. Misfortune picks up the Jhin. Misfortune picks up the Karma. And that'll be an ace, and that'll be likely the game. Notice also how the Azir isn't basing. You ace the team. He doesn't need a base. He's going to just go end the game. So that was Azir. I presume the game is about to end. Very scary champion in the right hands. But that is also the point that, you know, if I didn't make it clear, that looked weird. On someone that isn't great with Azir, he's very easy to beat because he is high mechanics. So if they make just a lot of mistakes constantly, they're not going to use Azir that well. But that's why I'm scared of the champion in the rating that I play in higher ratings. Yeah, he's scary. You know, these players are good. Even in my main account at the moment is Diamond 2. Diamond 2 Azir players are scary because Azir is scary to me. But that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. We will continue this mini-series, but if you could do me a massive favor and throw a like on the video, it does help out more than you think. Throw a comment. How do you think of Azir? What's your opinion on the champion? Are you scared of him too? Let me know down below. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.